be ashamed of that. Young nigga banging back. Young nigga banging back. Then we gon' fade to black. Then we gon' fade to black. Yeah. I left the crib walking. Drove a Mercedes bag. You wasn't blessed with ambition, so who you gon' blame for that?
Yo, man, what's good, everybody? This your man Q back in the building again. We're a day late, dollar short, but it's all good. Had some technical difficulties on the other day, actually, but I'm in the building. Got my girl VJ as always. Say hello.
Hi.
Oh, and we also got a special guest in the building. My man Cole Sports in the building. What's going on, brother?
I'm doing good. I almost feel like I'm on the morning breakfast club with you two.
Oh, so that means
good to be with you, Q. Thank you for inviting me. And VJ, love you, girl. Keep going. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yay! It's like the Breakfast Club, but without the transphobia and the misogyny. So great.
Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, it's perfect. Oh yeah. Okay. I don't know. Some will say that. Never mind. So I'm not gonna start today, man. What's going on, man? How's everybody? Everybody been? V, how your week been? All that good stuff.
My week has been good. I put my mom on a plane last night to Chicago. She got there safely after many, many questions because she has not flown since I was a very small child. So, post 9/11. So she had many, many questions and concerns. And worried the shit out of me until she got on the plane. But we're good. She got to Chicago safely. She's happy. I want to wish her a happy birthday. She's 29 for the 75th time today. So happy birthday, Mom. I love you. I hope you're having a fantastic time in Chicago. And then on top of that, the Lufkin, Texas team for the Little League World Series is playing for the United States Championship right now. And if they win this game, then they'll play for the Little League World Series title. So go Pack.
Okay, all right. Lufkin getting some love outside of Jermichael Finley and Dez Bryant, but it's
we're not good. Who shall not be named. Nope. No. Not even gonna talk about them. You're not gonna sully them babies' good name out here. They out here playing amazing baseball. They've been undefeated all summer. No, you're not gonna sully. You're not gonna mess this up for them.
See, man, hold on. I thought Jermichael Finley was a scholar and a gentleman.
No.
I think the quote you're looking for is quote, dumb as a box of rocks, close quote. Is that right?
Oh, I mean, yeah, that sounds like it would fit. I mean,
oh my God.
I may or may not have said it. I don't know.
I mean,
it sounds like something I said.
That's just the word on the street. We don't know who said that. But
well, the nigga. Dull as rusty butter knives, but you know what? It's fine.
Man, look. I mean, well, never mind. I always want to say like this, man. I'm always baffled when you have dumb ball players. I am and I'm not at the same time. 'Cause I would say you can't be stupid and play, but then again, they prove me wrong every day. So I mean,
yeah, it almost as if you had to say you can't be that stupid. But yeah, you see the buffoonery in front of you on a regular basis.
I guess
they can be that stupid.
I guess he's trying to take Sir Charles' spot as
and the thing is, how could his white wife check him that hard? Like, come on, man, really?
Have you seen Charles Barkley's wife?
Unfortunately, I have, and I'm so glad that I did not turn to stone. Lord,
V, have you seen? Well, she got me on mute, but yeah, man. I mean, I remember. I ain't gonna lie. I thought it was a fake picture when I saw her. When
what is it?
You seen Charles Barkley's wife before?
No. I imagine is she attractive?
Yeah,
in
sure.
the
bad.
likeliest.
Yeah, she's bad.
No.
Bad built or?
Nah, man, she a dime out here.
Not bad as in bad and bougie by the Migos. No.
Man,
so she's bad built.
So so you trying to say Charles Barkley wife?
Like it's bad, like bad. So like Bad News Bears bad, but not like bad and bougie bad.
Exactly.
So his wife is a Bad News Bear. Okay.
Oh, matter of fact, I'll
Hmm.
even entertain
How
you.
did you put it beautifully?
Hold up, I'll even I'll indulge you with matter of fact, Cole, in the process, everybody where they can find your podcast, what you talk about, and how everything been going.
All right. Well, I have two podcasts. I'll talk about the one that I actually debuted this past month, Revelations. You can find it on shows.pippa, that's pippa.io/revelations. I have hosted Q and hosted the lovely VJ on that platform.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah, hey
Cole
man, we
Sports. That
appreciate
is,
it.
oh, no problem. And I appreciate it with the both of you. And my other platform is Cole Sports, and it is Cole Sports with a Z. And that you can find me all in all of what I do there, the social media stuff, and you can find it there, coldsportswithaz.com.
You guys should check it out. It's pretty dope.
Oh yeah, I
Thank you.
always love sports. I like hearing people's perspective when it comes to sports because you will never really get like the same commentary from two different people. So I always thought it was pretty dope.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I thought that was that. I think that's the very good thing about like podcasting and sports. Like there can be a million sports podcasts, but you'll never really get the same content or the same point of view from from everybody. So you get a very very robust perspective if you listen
yeah,
to enough people.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Uh,
fully agree with that.
can you see that V?
That
Hold on.
that is Mrs. Charles Barkley, VJ.
Wait, which one?
One right here on the left
On
hand
the
side.
right.
Well, I hope not the one
The
in the
white
middle.
one?
Yeah,
Yes,
So I'm assuming that's their daughter in the middle, right?
yes.
yeah. I think it is.
I hope so. Otherwise, he,
Yeah.
he got a
So
problem.
this white lady is his wife.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Looks like
So,
Skeletor.
I told you. I told you. Bad, but not bad and bougie
so,
by the Migos.
so are you
Oh,
saying
that's disappointing. I mean, that looks like something he'd marry, but that's disappointing.
that's cold, man?
Is it? Is
I,
it?
I don't
It
know,
looks
man.
like something
Oh,
he'd
are y'all
marry.
gonna are y'all gonna are y'all gonna crawl into my mentions
No,
like
I
a
don't.
drunk like a drunk hooker on a Monday morning after like a all weekend binge to tell me that I'm ugly shaming? Because you can save it. I don't care.
Man,
VJ, at me when they do, because I want to see it,
yes,
and I want
yes,
to see you
please.
clown them when they do.
It's like
Please.
please don't drag your asses to my mentions to complain about me calling that lady ugly. Because here's the thing that y'all just like to say about everything. Oh, we're all body posy and everyone's beautiful. Yes, and you can be beautiful on the inside. It enhances your outward beauty. But if you are at a -7, I don't care how much personality you got. That only gets you to 3.
Yeah, your
Don't
personality.
come at me with that. Like if you at -7, your personality can be a 10, but guess what the fuck that gets you? It gets you 3.
Hey, your the great personality just gets you in a
Oh,
group text. That's about it.
oh
It gets
God.
it gets you put on the developmental team. It gets you put on the
Yeah.
practice squad.
You're the one that
It's
you're the one that get all the relationship questions about that same sex you are. So it's like the ugly girl gets the question about why women like this, and the ugly guy gets like why are men like this.
oh Lord.
If you're ugly enough and you're a dude, the chick that you like will send you news that you can pre-screen for the nigga she actually likes.
That's just terrible, man.
Good God.
Hey,
What do you like to tell me? What is it that you like to say, Q? Let me see how it goes.
Uh oh.
Quote: "The game is the game." End quote.
Hey,
Oh
well,
no.
hey, you right. I mean,
Mm,
Shit,
mm,
that mic drop you just then, Q.
I know,
mm.
man. With my own quotes, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna turn this over. You host for here on out. And
He's about to go cry, guys. Just calm down. It's okay.
man,
About to
I
go tell
actually,
Alicia to hold him.
it's so funny because I was like, man, so many people out here faking the funk and not being. I told somebody the other day. I think I was talking with. I forgot her actual name, but she's from the Brown Girl Experience podcast. And I gave her kudos because she was as honest as possible. We were talking about Insecure, of course, and talking about one of the characters on there, Lawrence, who was the one that got cheated on. And she was sitting there saying, like, basically, I think his dude came and told him, he's like, man, basically, you got cheated on because you got in a rut, you fell off, and then therefore her interest went elsewhere. And of course, I went on there. I had to troll. I said, wait, hold up. Y'all trying to say y'all can't take care of no grown man? We take care of some of y'all sometimes. Sometimes with quotations. But and she was like, well, hey, look, maybe we not progressive enough there yet, so I don't see myself doing it. And I said, thank you. You're finally honest out here. Tell these broke dudes they can't get it. You're not a forever guy.
Let me just say this. Dog in the fight because I don't watch the show. But I will say this about people cheating. If you cheat on somebody, you cheated because you wanted to. I don't care what they did to you. I don't care how you feel about it. I don't care if they laid on your couch for 6.5 months and didn't have a job and never washed their ass. Guess what you also did? You're an enabler. Your ass was complacent. You let them sit there and do it, and now you mad. Like, no, sis, no, bro. You let them act that way. If that's not how they were acting before, and then you accepted the bare minimum from them, then whose fault is that? Quit accepting the bare minimum from people. Quit not holding people accountable for the shit that they do. It's on both sides. People complain about shit and complain about getting cheated on. The cheater's wrong and your ass wrong for letting them do it.
Ooh,
so y'all need to both take a time out, sit the fuck down, and figure out your goddamn lives.
Cole, man, what you got, man?
Well, look, man. I mean, VJ has a real strong point there. Seriously, I mean, whenever you have the issue of someone cheating and someone being cheated on, both parties have to look at themselves in the mirror and say, okay, well, what did I do to contribute to this to happen? And as far as Insecure is concerned, the only hashtag I have to that is hashtag train wreck. Because whenever I hear these battle of the sexes things going on, train wreck. Like, I'm Team Issa. I'm Team Lawrence. Get the team out of here, man.
Because I feel like the key with
small stuff.
I feel like the key with Insecure is that they want you to be able to see yourself in these characters, but that's not necessarily to say that you're supposed to see every part of yourself in these people for you to be like, oh, I'm just Lauren Todd forever. Like the man got cheated on, and that's some fucked up shit. Mm-hmm. But he also does some fucked up shit as well, and that I think that's relatable. Like, people are not perfect. Sometimes we do crappy stuff to people that we care about. Sometimes people that we care about do crappy shit to us.
I agree.
Hell, that's team people do crappy shit.
Here's one thing I would say, though.
It
is very... I'll put it like this. That's why I always go back to the whole thing about honesty. And I think we're the least amount of honest, or the least about... We put the least amount of fire on those that are up under us because we don't know what the outcome of it is going to be. So it's hard for you to charge your homie up that's close to you and tell them, dawg, you on some BS. Or, talk to your significant other and say, hey, look, I don't like this. This is what we need to do, or this is what I would like to see. You can't really do that because it's going to cause an argument. You're going to be like, well, I'm only doing this because of XYZ reasons, and now nothing gets done.
I can see it both ways. I said I've been on the receiving end of something like that, and then I've also been the person to say it. But I think that a lot of it is how you say things to people as well. And a lot of people get in trouble because it's their tone and the way that they present information to people. And especially when it's the people closest to us, they assume that we're in a position where we know them well enough that we don't want to hurt their feelings, right? Like there's this whole thing about not hurting the feelings of people that we care about. But in reality, sometimes people are wearing their hearts on their sleeves so that they can be offended or be upset by the things that we say. Because I feel like deep down, a lot of times when you have to come to somebody and have a come to Jesus meeting, so to speak, they already know what the come to Jesus meeting is about. They're not oblivious.
Yes. Hey, man, I'm sorry.
And they know what's going on. So for you to come out and say it, they're automatically going to be like, oh my God, how could you say that? Hit dogs holler.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Because if they really felt like they weren't in the wrong, they wouldn't be like, oh my God, it's so terrible, you hurt my feelings.
Hey, I tell people like this, man, F your feelings. I got to say this. So, if I ever got if I'll say the same for me. Hey, f my feelings. If you know I'm messing up out here in these streets, you better say, hey, bro, you fucking up. Like, just put me to
But
say,
I've
hey,
already told you that publicly.
What?
exactly.
What do I tell you? You'd be wrong. It's two left shoes, and I'm a ride for you. But we get alone. I'd be like, my nigga, what are you doing? Like I just had to burn an entire building down. I had to fucking invent an actual neuralizer from Men in Black to wipe these folks' memories. Like I had to do a lot.
While you playing Cole, I don't know if you can speak to this, but we've all been in that situation where we in some spat, and then afterwards you're like, man, what was that all about?
No, I'm married, so you know I've been in that situation. I mean, it's humorous. It's humorous after you actually both calm down for a while and you look back at the argument like, what the heck was wrong with me? Yeah, I've been in. And for those who think that cheating is not something that males go through, I was cheated on myself, and I'm telling you, it's something that I wouldn't want anyone to go through, but I had to look at myself in the mirror and say, wait a minute. So it's messed up, but you know, you have to have these honest moments with yourself, and if you don't, it's like what BJ said, it's going to happen to you over and over again because you didn't check yourself.
Okay. Yeah, that's what. Hey, as real accountability is real out here. Also, Cole, check your feed real quick. There's some kind of interference there. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and jump right into all of this stuff. So, man, we got a lot of current events to cover. I don't even know where we want to start. So, I guess if we were talking about sports just recently, you had a lot going on in NFL. You had a lot of protests, actually from the players. There's been protests from regular civilians. I don't know why I said civilians, but regular old folks, some NYPD folks, and then there was a group of pastors that got into it as well. But you've also been having a lot more players starting to kneel. Like even with the Browns, they kind of it was like they were, at a mosque or something, or they were actually it was a bunch of them. So I guess the question is this showing a new? First, well, I got questions after. So, just tell me what's your thoughts on what's going on in the NFL.
You're starting to see two Americas in the NFL actually take shape. That's what I really believe you're seeing, and the two Americas are side and the diet woke side. I'll put it that way. It's not straight up woke because you don't have hotels all over the place in the NFL, but you have semi woke guys. So I'd say diet woke, and you have these two diametrically opposed for some odd reason that go on, and seemingly what I'm seeing, the Cleveland Browns is a great example. Last week, you had head coach Hugh Jackson get up on the podium and say, I'm for protest and everything's great, but I don't want anybody on my team to do it. I want to focus on football basically and stand up for the anthem and represent. Well, Monday night, we had 12 guys, one of them white, kneel when the national anthem was played. So it told me, wow, there are many people who do not have the pulse of the persons on their team. And it's really simple, but for some reason it must be the most complicated thing in the world for many of these people because they just want to dig in and just be all in their trench. The art of conversation is necessary. Why don't you actually to approach that person and ask, okay, why are you protesting? And then shut up and listen. It's the easy concept, but for some reason, it's almost like it's a PhD for these people to even attempt to do
it.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, oh man, VJ, what do you say? Protests going on. What do you? First of all, just what are your thoughts on it?
I think that it's interesting how people, I think, as Cole was saying, how people, for whatever reason, have some issue with peaceful protest when they're saying, I mean, I don't get it. Like, you want to know, like, you're upset about these people peacefully protesting, but you're not asking them why they're protesting, what the protest is for. You don't care. You're just upset that it's some uppity Negroes protesting, frankly. Like, and then if that's not the case, then it's, why are you protesting? The first, it's First Amendment rights, and if we're protesting child poverty or something, then everybody's on board. But God forbid you protest something that has a problem with, and all of a sudden all hell breaks loose, and you're just like a horrible person. And oh my God, how un-American of you! And you don't know anything about like it. It's very hypocritical. Like it's hard to watch sometimes. Like, how are you this stupid? Like you're choosing to be this dense.
I
And
mean,
I'll throw this out there too. Now, mind you, you're having these owners and the season ticket holders, most of them white, most of them male, raise up this thing about you should stand up for the anthem. However, that was not a practice that was instituted until 2009. It was played before player introductions were done. So we're talking about something that has not been done for 10 years. And then on top of that, you have the NFL asking the armed forces, why don't you pay us for this display of patriotism? They had the American flag draped all over the field and having planes fly overhead. Yeah, that's a beautiful sight. Why don't you pay us to do that?
yep.
So I'm like, is this patriotism or is this capitalism sold as patriotism? People just get out of my face with this garbage. It's ridiculous to me.
Yeah, man. Look, there's a bunch of one. I always say like this: our society is built on hypocrisy, double standards, contradictions, whatever else you can put out there. Because even then, it's like I would like this: the country itself, how it was born, was through a protest and revolt. If you want to take everything we were taught by, for face value, that's what happened. Even though it was a brother that actually started all of it initially, Christmas Addicts. But, those pages are stuck together. We don't talk about that. But then, then you look at the situation like, I think it was so. I put it on. I think I don't remember I don't remember if I said it on Twitter or if I said it on the show. V, you probably remember, but it was like that situation where they tell you, well, forget about, because I think a lot of stuff was about the Confederate statues, and they was like, oh, well, slavery was so long ago, you should just forget about it. It's like, okay, cool. Well, forget about the statues then, right? Technically, right? Oh,
Well, yeah,
no.
that's it. Yeah, if we should be over slavery, they should be over the Civil War, and they should be over glorifying. It all happened around the same time. So if we should be over slavery, then you should be over losing the Civil War, and you shouldn't need to keep your monuments to your loser friends.
But and then, like you said, I was actually happy it was the Browns because Hugh Jackson gets on and says, "Oh, I applaud it, but you better not." And it's like, wait, hold up. So you're saying I have the right to do it, but you better not see me do it? Is what you're saying? All right, play. I would have laughed if the entire team did it. That's why I'm waiting. I'm waiting for one of those teams that's going to be so bold that 75% of them do it, and coaches. Then what? I don't know. Okay, so this brings up some questions though. So like, okay, how does this really work? Like, is this? Are we, like, I think Cole, you kind of answered when you said there's two Americas. So it's like the question is like, is this a situation where we're seeing a shift in how people perceive information, and they're like, hey, look, I'm tired. I'm no longer going to be afraid, so I'm gonna do what I have to do, or is it trendy?
I think back to when Muhammad Ali had to deal with this 50 years ago. Now, he did not get blackballed nearly to the degree that Muhammad Ali did. I mean, he got stripped of the title, got stripped of his boxing license. He couldn't even perform boxing, period.
Yes.
I mean, he couldn't box anywhere.
That's when he was getting money from Joe Frazier and all.
Right.
Yeah,
Late
Kareem
60s,
and
he
all
was
those
getting money
guys.
from Joe Frazier and from others. And in 1967, Ali was public enemy number one. I mean, even black people couldn't stand him. Even black people couldn't stand Muhammad Ali. Well, some, not all, but some. That Muslim thing, and it was to not be vogue or in vogue to actually put your hopes behind a guy like this because he's too radical. Imagine that shift turning some 10 years later to where he's the most popular figure in the world. I mean, he's more popular than heads of state. And people saying, you know what? I want my kid to be just like you. It's amazing how perception can change in that time frame. Because history is going to make him look really good probably about 10, 15 years from now. But for this moment now, it's a combination of both. You do have some who are interested in wanting to see not get killed while they're unarmed and just simply being black by law enforcement. You do have those who want to not see neo-Nazi and white supremacists just simply bowl over human beings in cars like they're bowling pins. You do have people who really do care about that, but you also have the other side that's like, feathers, and you know what? I haven't had my name in bold print. Time to shine. You have a little bit of both. You do, because I'm talking to athletes here, both of you, and I was an athlete too. There is some ego in an athlete. So yes, I would say it's a combination of both.
V, what you think?
V just caught the tail end of that because her family's over here having a field day at my house like it's a fucking slave ship. So.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, it couldn't have been just party, a hold down.
I'm tired.
All
right, man, just start kicking folks out like Pam.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just what's the question?
Okay,
I'm
so
sorry for that outburst.
Tell us how you really feel. That's the no. So the question is it trendy to be one of those guys who are kneeling, or are we really seeing a shift where people are starting to really just stand, well, in this sense, kneel for what they really believe in?
I think that it is probably a little bit of both. I think that for some people it probably is like trendy because I think activism is trendy right now. It's what's hot now. It's like, I don't know, it's like skinny jeans and lattes, right? Like, I think it's like the hipster thing to do, right? To have a cause, to be an activist or whatever.
Yeah,
so I could see that.
Everybody on their Thugnificent stuff when he was trying to get all political. That was Boondocks reference. Don't worry about it. Yeah, go ahead.
But I mean, so I see to a certain extent, and that is the case. I feel like people are just kind of, oh, well, we're just, I mean, because we've talked about this on the show, people are just like too woke. Like it's just over woke. Like you so woke, you hadn't been asleep in literally 72 hours. Like you're doing a lot. So I think that there are those people that are just like, to be a part of and because activism is the thing to do now, that's what they're doing. But I do think also that what we're seeing in a lot of ways is a shift, because when you look at Colin Kaepernick, you're not looking at I guess what a lot of these people, white straight men or whatever, the ways in which they view black persons or black people or black bodies, or the ways in which black people interact with the world. Like Colin Kaepernick is not, or for whatever stereotypes they have of black people, he doesn't fit that. So they are, and then I think for a lot of the players as well, they're looking at it from the lens of, I know football, I know he's not the worst, and they're are quarterbacks that have jobs, that they have brought out of retirement, that they have went and rounded up from grocery stores to play backup, when I know as a football player, as an athlete, that this man is a better player than them. So what's the variable here? Why are they willing to go hunt down these below average players to put them on a team when this man, who is a colleague of mine, who I know to be a good person, who is doing good things in this community, can't get a job?
Because I'd rather go grab
It,
Paul Crew, even though he doesn't exist, because I don't want to have to deal with this dude.
right, and I think that, and then I mean, look at like with Tim Tebow, like even in the spectacle that he was, like the man still was able to get a job. Now, eventually, that kind of faded because people realized that he just wasn't necessarily an NFL quarterback or NFL caliber, we'll say, quarterback, or he wasn't a good fit for teams that needed quarterbacks at that time. But it was a spectacle, right? But nobody was like, "Oh, it's a horrible thing." You know what I mean? It wasn't like they weren't play, regardless of the spectacle that came with him. And so it's like when you see that, and then you see Colin Kaepernick, you see that he's doing community, that when they've asked him while he's protesting, he's been very, very clear to clarify that this has nothing to do with the military. This has nothing to do with veterans. The flag is not a symbol. Like he's been very, very clear about what his protests were about. Mm-hmm. And you see these people, and they're like, the variable here. Like, what is the issue here? So maybe if I kneel with this person or stand with this person or show some type of solidarity that last year I wasn't able to show because I necessarily didn't get it, help now. And so I think the shift is, I think a lot of it is perception, right? And I think for a lot of people last year, they just felt like he was doing it for attention. They felt like it wasn't genuine. They didn't feel like he could have any connection to the things that he was protesting because
he's rich.
Right. And then I think now that they see that he's walking the walk, he's putting his money where his mouth is, he's very, very serious and committed to this. And they're like, oh, shit, we were wrong about this man.
Are you saying
we should have stood with him in solidarity last year when we should have stood with him in solidarity. And now, because we see to him, this could be me next. What if I decide I want to speak out on something and they don't agree with me? I might not kneel in protest, but I might say something they don't like. And the next thing you know, I'm jobless.
Mm-hmm. See, I can say this. It's the only, and I'm ashamed to say this. It's the only thing I ever agreed with Charles Barkley about.
Oh, God.
Yes.
What did he say?
It pains me. It's like, you get that little chest pain and, my arm, all that stuff is going on right now. But he said the only problem he had with that whole situation is the idea of kneeling during the anthem took away from what he was actually talking about. And not that him particularly doing it, but it's just like right now, nobody's focused on why these guys are kneeling. It's just that they're kneeling. Yeah. Oh, let's cover them kneeling, not what the actual issue was. I was like, go ahead. No, I was gonna say that's the only thing that pains me to say. I was like, oh, he kind of had a point, but go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm saying, and here's the problem with that. You're having too many people who are looking at the flag and listening to the Star Spangled Banner, and they treat that as if it's Jesus. Do anything but stand up and take off your hat and place it on your heart is sacrilege. Meanwhile, most of the people who are kvetching on Facebook and Twitter and social media, they're saying, yeah, they should stand up for the anthem. Playing for them in their living rooms. What are they doing? The butts are grabbing the couch. So to me, it's just ridiculous. I mean, it's a song and a flag. Look, I'm proud to be American. Very proud. But it is a song and a flag. And look, Charlemagne the God, and this is really strange to say, he actually had a great point. He said you should ask a person this. If the American flag and human beings on fire, which one would you put out first? And I said, well, that's a good way to put it.
The flag. You already know a bunch of people like, save the flag.
And many people would answer the flag. Many people would be stupid enough to answer the flag. And I'm like, come on, man.
It's like, bro, it's just, what are you doing?
Symbolism. It just is. And it's just, this is stupid. It's absolutely stupid that people are so hung up on a symbol such as a flag and a song, almost 200-year song, which I may add on the third verse is saying, well, hey, them slaves are getting away. They're running to get the British. Get them slaves and get them back to our property.
Hey,
Pretty much. I was gonna say let's not talk about how the song is racist.
No, that's fake news. We on subscribe. What you CNN, Fox? No,
well, I mean, let's also take into account that our nation, or if you want to say it came into being in 1776, the banner wasn't written until 1812. So the country's been around far longer than the Star Spangled Banner and the flag in its current inception. So to say that necessarily are the best things about America, or those are the best symbols of America, just seems is extremely stupid. Like, like, I mean, I get it. You want to have a national anthem or whatever, and that's fine. But I think that people are sent to take the symbolic parts of it, but then they don't really know what the symbols mean. And that's the part that's just kind of confusing to me. Like, you guys are so gung-ho about this flag and this anthem, but a lot of you don't know the fucking words. Like, let's be honest. They trained, hired people that they get up in front of millions of people to sing it, fuck it up. Y'all don't know your ass at home don't know the words. Tell me all the words right now. Don't know none of them. Can't tell me what year it was written. Can't tell me who wrote it. Can't tell me why they wrote it. But y'all just so in love with it. Y'all just love it. It's just the end all be all. I watched a newscast where they were celebrating Memorial Day, and they went around asking people questions about the flag. And they were like, well, what do the stars stand for? What are the stripes for? How many are there? And these are grown-ups. They couldn't answer these basic ass questions. And those are the same fucking grown-ups that are sitting on their couch, on their ass during the national fucking anthem, talking about, oh, look at that nigger boy kneeling over there. How they ought to get him out of there.
Wait, hold on. I can answer. Stars, 50 states, 13 stripes, 13 colonies. Ooh, boom. Yeah, I remember history somewhat. Sometimes.
Congratulations for passing 5th grade social studies. I am so proud of you.
I know, man. Hey, man, I told you I was a genius.
And that's the scary part. That is the scary part. That was taught when we were 10. That's real scary.
It's so fucking scary that it's impressive. Like, it's impressive for you to be that stupid. Like, it's an accomplishment in itself. And that's the thing about it. Like, these people are so, like, they're so hung up on the symbolism and how they feel like, oh, America, we got to stand together as a united front, that it's like insanity. And the thing about it is I feel like pre 9/11, this whole America madness fury situation was not the case. People stood, they sat, they took their hat off, they didn't take their hat off, they might put their hand over their heart, they might just stand there. And now it's like you have to hold people to like this insane standard of like nationalism and being an American, and it's just like, my God, like.
Yeah, when did standing up for the national anthem for the United States turn from a quote free society into a fascist state? When did that happen? Please tell me when that happened.
I don't know. Hell, these are the same people that had us pledging allegiance to a flag like we were the Hitler Youth, but nobody talks about that. Like, like, y'all are like, it's insane. Like, people just like it's like this blind devotion to something, and it doesn't mean anything. And you're saying it's a symbol of the military, but there are a lot of veterans that will say that I fought for you to have the freedom to do whatever the fuck you want here.
I'm one of them. I'm one of them, and I will definitely echo those sentiments. Yes.
See, here's how
didn't nobody fight to come back over here, and then you just try to turn this into whatever, like the hell?
See, this is what everybody.
People weren't losing their lives so you could get mad about a fucking flag.
Yeah, this is where we are in America. Hold up. See if I can.
Oh no.
Oh God, what is it?
What are you about to play?
Let's see if it plays. Uh-oh, don't do it to me.
What?
America, fuck yeah! Coming again to save the motherfucking day, yeah, America, fuck yeah!
Kudos to you for pulling that out, Q. Kudos to you, man.
America, because that. First of all, that movie was amazing. Like, let's just say that movie is everything.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. All that in a bag of chips. Yes.
See, I mean, but that's
kudos to you, Q. That's a good one.
Speaking of America, That matter of fact, I'm gonna actually talk about this too. So, Howard University. How long has Howard been a historically black college slash university? As long as you remember, right?
Yeah,
It's been
I don't
around.
know.
You know,
I
it's
say
one of the
I
earliest
say
universities.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Okay,
pretty
all
fucking
right.
old, man.
Yeah, okay. So if you were 15, 16, did you already know it was HBCU as well? Some usually
Yes.
you did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Hmm.
some young ladies did not allegedly. So, oh man.
Lord have
So
mercy.
a couple, I don't know how you gonna call them snow, but I guess a couple white chillins were on a field trip with their school, and they decided they were hungry. Now I've never been on a field trip, and all of a sudden we decided to eat at. I don't know if they were on a field trip at the school, touring the school. Okay, all right, that makes sense. But so they decided to eat at the cafeteria on campus. But these young ladies decided that they finna rock they Don T paraphernalia and gear on campus and say, you know what, this is my uniform. This is what we rocking with. I think they had Make America Great Again hats, and one had a
Red
Don
and
T
Hmm.
blue.
shirt.
Hmm.
Okay.
so so of course, outrage ensued. A lot of people was like, "Man, hold up, how you gonna come on our campus, knowing it's majority black, rocking Donald Trump, who already said some grimy stuff, and is
Hmm.
already, after the whole Charlottesville thing, already, if he's not suspect to you, I don't know where you were, but he should be considered now." And I don't know exactly what happened, but it basically. They kind of got at him. They were like, you need to go get off campus. And of course, there was a lot of outrage. And they were basically so appalled that would happen to them. It's like, we didn't know we did something wrong. We didn't even know this was an all black school. It's like, word be? You didn't. Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Oh my
so
god.
so I gotta
Well,
ask the question is like, all right, intentional, or could it really be that they were really that oblivious?
Please, VJ,
I see
eviscerate them.
I see you
Please,
cleaning your
please,
glasses, so go ahead. You have the floor.
please, please, VJ, eviscerate
not
them.
just clean them because they're dirty, but here's the thing about it. Um, so I'm just gonna get this out of the way. GP, just go ahead and say this. It's a public institution. They went to the cafeteria to eat. Their children. Like, obviously, they were with some type of chaperone. I'm going to assume this was probably the chaperone's idea. Regardless of how we may feel about it, they're 15 years old. But we were just talking about people's freedoms to protest and people's freedoms to wear what they want to wear. So if a girl wants to wear her Make America Great cap again and she felt comfortable and the other one wants to wear her Donald Trump shirt, a lot of folks that don't have similar views as you. That doesn't give you the right to harass them or mistreat them or whatever else. Like, I'm not going to condone violence towards children. I'm sorry. Like, that's just they didn't. I don't feel like eating lunch is a is necessarily a reason to be ugly to them. And if anything, it puts us in a position where, as black people, then they go out and their experience with black people is that I went around them and I wore something that they weren't necessarily in accordance or agreement with, and they all tried to lynch me. Um,
Hmm.
so I'll just make that known first, and maybe that's me playing devil's advocate. But I just feel like if you, as a black person, if you went to a PWI and wore an Obama T-shirt to the cafeteria, and everybody chased you out of the cafeteria and talked crazy to you, then they'd all be racists,
I'm
and
sure that
everybody'd
happened.
be up in arms, and they would be outraged.
I'm sure
Just
that has
feel
happened.
like when we're talking in terms of children, like I don't think you get to be shitty to folks' kids like that. I'm sorry. Like I'm not gonna sit here and condone that. Like I'm not gonna do that.
I know. That's why
But I will
I'm
say this.
okay.
But
No, no, no.
but on the flip, but
Go ahead.
I'm not condoning being shitty to folks' kids. But on the flip side, I feel like at 15 or 16 years old, you're about to graduate high school. If you felt like you could wear that Make America Great cap again, you had to know what was going to come with it. So either that
Exactly.
means either you know zero black people or Mexican people or people that practice that are Muslim, or you know zero. You essentially know no people of color and no one that's not like Presbyterian. Because if you did, you would have known better than to wear that to a black institution. So
Hey,
I feel like it's a little bit of both things. You can do what you want to do.
Of
But
course.
you have to be prepared for the consequences that come with that. So do I feel like it was necessarily not the best reflection as maybe the black experience or them that being their first interaction with black people? Eh. No, I'll give you that. Maybe they could have handled it a little bit better. Maybe they just could have been like, "Hey, could somebody please ask them to leave because their shirts are offensive to the diners," and left it at
Hmm.
that. Do I feel like it could have been handled better? Yeah, but you can't predict how people gonna react to the shit that you do. So if you thought you could just come in there with your MAGA hat on, it was gonna be good, then I mean that's on you. You're a little old to be thinking dumb shit too.
Hey man, the bad thing is they knew they would fly that day. And yeah, I do agree. It's like if you're old enough to say that that's who you rocking with, I'm Republican and so on and so forth, you gotta know you know what's up. That's my opinion of it. You know what's good.
But at 15 or 16, you can't vote. So I feel like for a lot of us, I mean, why are people Democrats or why are
I,
people Republicans? A lot of it has to do with the views that they have grown up with in their family. So a lot of people at 15 or 16 would tell you that they are a Democrat or Republican, but do they really know what that means? Realistically, do they really have any idea? They're not on their own. They're not paying taxes. They're not necessarily having children or having to worry about the things that grown-ups worry about or are voting about. So those issues don't necessarily reflect in their everyday lives
I would rock with
for
that, and
you to make a decision.
I would
Mhm.
say that, and I would say exactly that. But I think they even came out and I think it was a tweet or something like that, where they came out and said it's a shame that we can't wear whatever political affiliation we are with. So it's like, okay, so if you're saying you can't do this based on who you're affiliated with, does that mean you kind of have an understanding? Not saying you're going to be well
Well, I mean,
versed.
it's
Of course not.
that's like me saying I believe in God because my parents forced me to go to church every Sunday for my entire life.
Okay, I'll take it.
It may be like a very loose metaphor, or however you want to look at it. But by comparison, I mean that's anything. If you grow up doing it, if the people around you are doing it, if homogeneously everyone around you is that way, are you going to be the one outlier? I mean, we like to believe that people are outliers and can think for themselves, but herd mentality is a
Mm-mm.
bitch.
Mm-mm.
16-year-olds. So I'm just saying, for a bunch of white ass 15, 16-year-olds where everyone around them is a Trump supporter, do they want to be the sole people to be like, well, black people are kind of okay?
They
Yeah.
probably. Hey, I bet they got black boyfriends. But now, Cole, what you got?
You never know, man. Man, I mean, VJ on point with that. Agree 100% with the disclaimer and the hot take because I similar, not this incident with the white girls on Howard, Rock and Make America Great Again caps, but I actually used what Donald Trump said about Charlottesville and flipped it in that vein, exactly what VJ said. He said the sentence that both sides are at fault. Because of that, I had to flip it and say, okay, well, you're going to do things that are going to anger people if you were to attack instead of actually defend. And when you have that happen, people are going to look at you as the bad guy, even though the woke side, you actually are wronged. No question about that. First, you're still going to be looked at as wrong. But on the flip side, it doesn't give anyone the right to act the fool either. That's how I stated it on my show. Now, with this incident, at 15, I was held up. I saw two undercovers draw a weapon on me. Now, I didn't have to be 15 to know what police brutality was. I knew long before 15. So, if I at 15 knew and experienced what police brutality is, I would think those white girls would have known that by 15, if you're going to wear paraphernalia that pretty much is going to anger most black people because Trump with racism, then pretty much the chances are I shouldn't wear this stuff on a historically black college university.
We're talking about white women here, and they don't know no black people.
I agree with that.
They know two black people. The only black people they've ever met are on television. They don't. They if they do know any, they go to school with them, and those black people don't know any other black people.
Yeah,
Mm.
look, I'm sure that the black people they know or they feel they know are Drake and J. Cole, and they think, okay, I'm down because I know those two. I get
Exactly.
that.
Yeah,
I'm
of
not saying
course.
I'm not saying it excuses their ignorance, but I'm just telling you,
Right.
more 9 times out of 10,
Hmm.
they thought what they were doing was okay because the girl even quoted, she was like, well, I've worn it before and people were just, people have said that they didn't like it or care for it or, but they, they weren't mean and disrespectful like these people were. So she said that people have come to her and said that they didn't care for the shirt or that they opposed Donald Trump. But every interaction that she has had, everyone has been relatively kind to her regarding their differences of opinion, which
Right.
means that she's around white people that are Democrats and white people that are Republicans or white people that just don't care for Donald Trump.
Hmm. Yeah.
Why?
That's interesting. The
I
Yeah.
mean,
person.
she came out and said that. So she's saying that obviously there are people that don't agree with what she's wearing, but she's never had it be that big of an issue. So to me, that sounds like she's not around the type of people that are like, "Whoa, girl, what the fuck is wrong with you?"
No,
So
no, she's
she's
not being checked.
so she's either around all white people or she's around complacent ass black people, and she knows two black people that aren't rappers or ball players.
I know a lot of those complacent ones, but I'll also say, speaking of Don T, we had an eclipse. One, I ain't gonna lie, this was kind
Oh
of messed up of
gosh.
me. Maybe anybody else? Did y'all go and try to find some flat earthers to kind of see if they can explain the eclipse to you?
No,
I
Q, that was
did.
just you
I know I did, but I
trolling
was.
Flat Earth,
people.
man. Look, don't invoke Kyrie Irving and Shaquille O'Neal in this, man.
I ain't gonna lie, I went on BOB's page and everything. I was like, man, I know he got something for me this week. I know it. But I ain't see anything, man. I'm gonna have to go back. No, I ain't gonna lie. So uh my wife actually sent one to me. This guy brought up a point. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Cause I was like, what is that? so
Well, there were
uh
several people, I guess, well, as we like to refer to you, hotep ass niggas, um, on the Twitters, and y'all were saying stuff like our ancestors. There were eclipses when our ancestors were alive, and they looked up at the sun, and it
how
did
do you
hurt their retinas. Well, first of all, how the fuck do we know if it hurt their retinas?
hey
Because there's no optometrist or ophthalmologist back then. They wasn't going to see the eye doctor. If you couldn't see, you just couldn't fucking see. And then like all the people and experts they got together to talk about it, they all said when you have retinal scarring, it does not hurt. Like your not eyes are not going to burn out of your sockets. You're not
oh
going to feel anything. You'll be fine, and then you'll start to have issues with vision later. Nobody said the shit was going to hurt.
Look,
I,
So
these hotep doctors have a degree in messing Negroes up. Man, come on.
like, so you're just telling people, hey, it's cool to go look at the sun. Our ancestors did it and they were fine. No, you don't know that their eyes were fine. They didn't have eye doctors to go to. Their retinas could have been completely burned out of their sockets. And who would have known? They'd have just been blind. Survival of the fittest means some wild animal probably drug them away from the fire in the middle of the night. So who knows?
so one
On
guy.
Twitter and purport yourself to be somebody's optometrist telling them they could just stare into the fucking sun. That's generally a bad idea.
Yeah,
You can stare into the sun because you're black.
yeah, exactly. That's how it
Oh
works.
yeah, like the melanin in your eyes that determines eye color. The pigment in your eyes keeps it from hurting your eyes. We not talking about your irises, you dumb niggas. We talking about the white part, the part around your iris, sweeties. Not talking
Look.
about the part that
This
gives it color.
Don't
this
talk
is when I
about
wish
UV
I
rays
had
to
this.
us.
When I wish I had the tongue I did have in my youth, and I'd be like Kevin Hart. Like, that's really what I feel like every time I hear hotep stuff like that.
oh,
Yeah,
oh.
tell somebody the melanin in their eyes means they can look at the sun. So
Hey, it's actually funny. So one of the guys brought up something called Project Bluebeam, and I was
Oh
like,
Lord.
"What is Project Bluebeam?" Here's the wiki on it. It's
it
a
sound like a
conspiracy.
Doctor Evil plot or
Yeah,
something.
that's what it
Yeah, it
did. I
does.
was like, "Is this a comic book?" Okay. It's a conspiracy theory that claims that NASA is
Oh
attempting to
gosh.
implement a new age religion with the anarchists at its head and start a new world order via a technological simulated second coming. I said,
They're
somebody
So
trying to
wrote
they're
that.
Scientology.
trying to they're trying to manipulate Jesus coming back. Lord have mercy. Come on. Really?
Now I
So
ain't
it's
gonna lie.
so there's so it's Scientology, right?
That's what it sounded like. Yeah. Now I ain't gonna lie. The best thing that somebody said was like it's the Death Star moving in position to eradicate what they said, North Korea. I said that's fucked up. But
The Death Star. Wow.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
I was just like sitting there thinking, I was like, go if you want a
Come
good
through
laugh,
with the Star Wars.
you gotta go look at that one because I think I shared a whole thread of Hotep stuff with with BJ and it was hilarious.
Look, side note.
Yeah.
When you all were on the Man podcast, when Baby Huey went to town on Hoteps that hard in the last 10 months, because I was thinking the type of stuff that just comes out of these fools' mouths, and they think that they're intelligent when they say this stuff. They asked
Man.
them, okay, all right, what accredited college did you get your doctorate?
Oh, see, my brother, you don't need. See, that's what you're going. You're going to the white man's education. That's where you're messing up, my man. See, you gotta
You
really
don't need
get
the white man's doctorate.
Yes, there you go. That you got. Yeah, you got to get this doctorate that you got to renew every 6 months.
Ooh, online.
Just the stuff that just flies at the mouth. It's like, okay, you woke up thinking that you're going to enlighten somebody with this garbage and drivel.
Yes,
Come
I
on.
made a
Listen,
mistake.
somebody enjoys it.
I made a mistake and got into a discussion with a family member about this because we started talking about gravity, and he said something on Facebook talking about I'm still trying to understand this gravity thing, and I'm like, what do you mean? Well, no one can prove gravity. I said you can calculate gravity, like you can, it's what 9.85 meters. What I think is meters per square or something. Meters per second squared or
Well, the
something
thing
like
about
that.
it is like you what do you mean you don't have to prove gravity? It's what's holding you to the fucking earth. Like
Right.
what
Oh no, because then he brought up the thing. He was like, "Well, if the Earth is spinning as fast as you say it is, then how are you not flying off of it?" I said, "We not."
how do you not fly off of roller coasters?
I mean, I was like, you remember forces? When we went over that subject in physics.
He was asleep. He missed them days.
Oh, okay, all right, but no,
Or
it was.
played
I told him, I said, "Dog, it's the bucket, the water in the bucket trick. It's the same reason if you spin it as fast as possible, it's not gonna fall out." But I mean.
Oh God.
Then he told me that it's not really gravity. What it is buoyancy.
Oh
Just like
Lord.
the ocean is just the ocean is more dense. And I was like, that moment after the conversation, he was like, okay, brother, you right. I just left it there. I was like, okay.
Oh, you player. You got it.
I didn't know what else to say. That was one of the first times I was like, I have nothing, no comeback.
Did the temptation slide back on him, huh?
Hey, that meme with Homer Simpson sliding off into the bushes, that was me. I was like, okay, I'm out of here.
That's so much. That is so unnecessary. That's so ugly. I just that's so ugly. Like I don't even have a better word for that. That is just some ugly, ugly shit. Like that's ugly. Like it's disgusting. Like it's gross. What's wrong with that?
There isn't any other word to describe it but ugly and ignorant.
Yeah.
So ugly. So ugly.
Speaking of ignorance, Don T said, screw what the news said. He was gonna look at the eclipse anyway, and the people had to tell him not to look.
Look to the sky with them peepers, them 71-year-old peepers.
Felt like if Melania and Barron was smart, they could have told him to look, and when he went blind, then that was their chance to run. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with them. Like, that was their escape plan. That was it, right there.
That was all of our plan, man. I'm sure there was some type of clause in there that's like, hey, you can't be president because you can't read these bills you got to sign, bruh. So,
oh, honey, he can't read the bills now, and he can see. What you mean?
I mean,
oh,
we have a medical reasoning now, not just the fact he's illiterate.
Say, the fuck you mean he can't read them bitches right the fuck now? Them people sit up there reading the bills and shit to him like it's goddamn story time at the kindergartner.
Oh my goodness.
They got circle time and shit for him so that he can pay attention long enough to get anything done. The fuck? Nah, don't let the eclipse be the reason he can't read. Shit.
That's cold-blooded.
Is it? Find the lie.
That's why it's messed up.
That man, my 6-year-old godson can read better than him. I'm almost certain.
Oh my
They
goodness.
got the same reading level.
Hey, stop talking about your president like that.
Who president? Who
Yours.
president?
That's I thought that was y'all man.
Who man?
Look like
Who's
diamond or silk right then and there. I'm sorry.
Oh, dog.
just who's man?
No.
What's the man do? What man is you talk? What man are you talking about? Questions that hashtag questions that need answer. Who's man? Who are you talking to?
I mean, there's a reason. It's like, hey, I know Kevin Durant said he ain't going to see him, so that's another thing a lot of people are getting a lot of fuss over because a lot of those guys said, "Nah, I'm good. I ain't going."
Listen, that woman, Susan, whose last name I forget, but Heather Hayer's mother, the man called during the child's funeral. Kept calling the woman back when obviously she's grieving over the loss of her child.
Right.
And then he got on TV, said that crazy ass shit. After this woman publicly thanked him for his kind words, then backtracked on them bitches like it wasn't shit. Like fuck her, backtrack on them words. And so when they interviewed that woman on Good Morning America, she was like, "I don't have any. Why would I want to talk to him? The fuck? I don't have nothing to say but to say to him. What you want me to say?"
Doubt.
No, and that's the thing about it. Like, and then I think that people like traditionally, like obviously, if a president invites you somewhere, you go. But Donald Trump has been accessible to people for years now. Don't nobody care about seeing Donald Trump's fucking ass?
No, not really.
The president is like him being the president is like the 35th iteration of that man being on television. To see him in the first fucking place.
Maybe that's the problem with his cabinet because he seems to be doing it just like his TV show. Saying all these fools, you're fired.
You're fired.
He's fired everybody. Oh no, did you hear that he was saying that he was going to like do a government shutdown if they didn't like put the money in the budget for the wall that he wanted to build that he said Mexico was going to pay for in the first place?
Yeah, I thought that's how it worked. I thought you could just go in and shut down the government like the studio.
Yeah, that's why when I sent it to Q, I was like, he thinks he's Diddy. He thinks fucking the American government is making the band. Like nigga, ain't nobody named Nat. Ain't nobody's name here is Ness. Ain't nobody Babs. Ain't nobody Dylon who got the hottest cabinet in Washington. Dylon. No, ain't nobody. Nobody is making any bands, sir. You don't get to be Diddy. You can't close down a studio. Can't nobody walk to Maryland to get you no Cambodian breast milk. Calm down.
Saying he can't get a sugar cookie from Queens is what you saying.
If Donald Trump, oh Lord, if Donald Trump comes up and says, "I told you that we won't stop," I'm gonna fly to Lufkin and look at you.
We just gonna shimmy together. We gonna get together. We gonna shimmy.
You gonna be like, "Can't stop, won't stop."
And that's when everything gonna fall through, and then you gonna have fucking Paul Ryan's ass doing videos from inside of his house talking about, well, if you don't want your president dancing through the front of your videos and locking down the government, then vote for impeachment. Like,
wow. Talking Suge Knight looking like Eddie Mustard. That's a shame.
Oh my goodness.
That's my secret May though, honestly. I told Gabby and KT that's my Republican bae.
Oh gosh.
Oh, goodness. All right. So last thing, I want to get we're gonna kind of shift here. So I want to get y'all opinion on this Boston Celtics trade. Did they just trade away their season? Do they still got a playoff?
Away their whole fucking lives.
Oh wow.
They traded the entire franchise away.
God,
that's what it seemed like. I mean, I put it like this. Okay, Kyrie is a good player.
Well, I guess we should tell people what the trade is for those of you who don't know. Kyrie Irving.
For all 5 of you.
Right.
Yeah, Kyrie Irving, who has been playing with the Cavs for the past, 3 seasons, maybe?
No, Kyrie been in since, 2000?
Kyrie, 4.
2009?
2009?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe.
No,
okay.
Not that long.
I was like, I don't
like
think.
2012, 2013. So yeah,
I was gonna say it seems like maybe 4 or 5. I was gonna say it seems like 4 or 5 years, but he's been there for a bit. So he's been playing with the Celtics and or the Cavs. There's been rumors that he was unhappy and wanted to be traded. And there was all this kind of back and forth about it. And then they announced that he has been traded to the Celtics. And what the Celtics gave up for him was Isaiah Thomas. They gave up Jay Crowder. Some man whose name I cannot pronounce.
Don't feel bad.
So I'm not gonna try because I don't know who he is, and I would be remiss to fuck that man's name up like that. So I'm sorry, sir. A restricted draft pick from the Nets. So essentially, they gave the Cavaliers their best defensive player, their point guard, and pretty much the person that's making all the points on their team. Some man who I assume does something there. Maybe he rebounds. Maybe he's the center. I'm not entirely sure. Find out in the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Not entirely sure.
Yeah,
but,
I guess he just takes up space.
they threw him in there for good measure. And then a draft pick. So, gave up half their fans, their parking spots at the front, their pool privileges, access to the weight center, the mascot, any future children that any of the players on the bench might have.
Tom Brady's
jersey. Tom Brady's jersey. Some Red Lobster coupons. Some massage in. Right. So the FUBU jersey, some massage envy sessions.
The 2008 championship banner.
They gave that to some of Paul Pierce's headbands, signed by the last team to win a championship. I think the GM might have given away his dog. Needless to say, the list goes on and on, but essentially they traded away everything that wasn't like bolted down in the city of Boston in return for Kyrie Irving.
Oh man, I mean,
just Kyrie Irving, ladies and gentlemen. Just Kyrie.
So what is your take on this, Q? Because I didn't ask you this. What is your take on this?
I look at it like this. I'm still trying to outweigh which trade was worse. Kyrie to the Cavs or Paul George to Oklahoma City. Here's my whole thing is like with Kyrie, I always say he's a good player. He's a great player. Top 5 point guard as of right now in the league. Scoring guard, I have to put that. Even though he does play more like a 2 versus a 1. But I can also say I don't know if Kyrie is consistent enough to be the focal point of your offense, especially without at least a good, solid B player. And like what you did, and then of course he got traded in the same conference, and I was like, on average, you're not trading starters to the same conference on average. I mean, usually that's not what's going to happen because I don't want to play you every year.
Or multiple times a year.
Yeah, or at least, I'm going to play you at least 2 to 3 times a year, not including the playoffs. So then you got that. And then, like I said, okay, with Isaiah, he's a good player, and I think with him playing within that role, he'll be a little bit better. He does lack some size, and in the East, he got a few point guards to go up against, but he's done it before because he played with Boston. So, but then you also give up a solid wing defender in Crowder, which is what they needed. You give up like a random guy X or a guy from out the stands because I guess you just needed to add some depth to it, and then you gave up a draft pick. And then of course the draft pick can be used to trade for other things because when I look at it, you gave up a lot for one guy. Now, if you were trading for LeBron or KD, I can see it because they can basically change you from a 30-win team to a playoff team easily. Can Kyrie do that? I don't know. I'm still on the fence on that one.
Well, I think it.
No.
Cole, I'm Cole. I'm going to let you have it. Go ahead.
I don't know what Ainge was thinking. The GM of the Celtics. I don't know what he was thinking.
I don't want to work here no more. But now go ahead. I'm sorry.
The team was on the precipice. Yeah, I know they got the brakes beaten off of them in the Eastern Conference Finals this past May.
But we all expected that because they had to go through the Cavs. So that's not, that's not a knock against them.
Well, knock against them is not a shock, right? but they were still on the precipice of actually being a team that could compete against the Cavs as, well, not presently constituted, as formerly constituted, to unseat in the East.
Yeah.
Why would you mortgage part of your present and part of your future talent? And I'm not going to crap on Kyrie. The dude can ball, has great handles, and he can score. But I'm sorry, they're begging him not to average 25 like he did last year in Cleveland. They're begging him to do Jordan-esque numbers. He would have to score at least 30. At least 30.
Yeah, he'll have
to actually make the trade somewhat worthwhile.
He'll have to be basically this age as Allen Iverson.
But the thing about it is him giving them 30 a night, which I would assume, honestly, is about what they would get on good nights. We're saying he was averaging, 25 there, 20.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Without anybody else there, then he's going to have to take the bulk of the shot. So I feel like they could get the 30 from him, but he's going to be worn out. Mm-hmm. He's not going to be any good for you. I mean, he's not going to be able to get other people involved and give you 30. Like, there's no way that he can do the bulk of the scoring on your team and then also get your other teammates, the other team members involved. There's not enough left of people around him for that to be feasibly possible.
And that's my problem. Yeah, I'm sorry.
When Q was saying about Allen Iverson, look at those 76ers teams. it wasn't
Ooh.
He basically put these teams on his back. We aren't talking about he came into these teams and else on the team better. We're talking about he came into this team and he was the team.
Wait, are you saying Aaron McKee and Eric Snow weren't all-stars?
Well, if you don't get the fuck away from that mic.
Aaron McKee, 9 points a game. Come on now.
Come on, man. He had George Lynch.
Oh,
anybody
Lord.
remember George Lynch? North Carolina? Anybody?
I remember the Alamo. Shut up. Some fucking George Lynch. Now, sir. Now I'm all about being realistic because obviously they could ball circles around me because they made it to the NBA. So I'm not going to sit here and negate the fact that obviously they were able to play on some level, but they weren't. They were kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel there as far as talent in the NBA. They weren't the best.
No.
That there was the offer. So he came to the 76ers and had to put that team on his back. And unfortunately, because he was very young, he had good legs, he was a good scorer, he was able to do that. They were able to be somewhat successful with that formula because he was such a prolific scorer as well as being a point guard.
Yeah, and the only other guy I can think of that did that was 2009 Derrick Rose. Was
right.
That 2009?
No, not 2009, 2011.
2011. Okay, yeah.
When he won the MVP. Yeah, when he won the MVP, 2011.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then look at him. Now his kneecaps is stretch arm with shit that's inside of a Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah,
my heart sinks. My heart sinks.
But that's what I'm saying though. You do this and it wears you out. So potentially they're putting Kyrie in a position where he's going to have to play lights out every night for them to be successful. And then when he doesn't do that, and then they need the other people to step up, there are no other people.
Yeah. To the both
successful every single night. If he is able to give them those numbers and put them up every night, then it's like, I guess what you have in Oklahoma with Russell Westbrook. He's doing all of the work there and nobody else is doing anything. So they're moderately successful, but they're never going to get over the hump. And fortunately for Russell Westbrook, he does have some help, a little bit. The Celtics have just cleaned out all the possible help that man could have gotten. It's one thing to get rid of Isaiah Thomas in exchange and some draft picks in exchange for Kyrie, because you're putting Kyrie in a position to be successful with a younger team, but with certain pieces in place that you could maybe draft that missing X factor. Everything and all you left with some empty now later wrappers on your bench. What do you do now?
Lord, look to the Bulls fan in this conversation.
Oh, that's why you were saying.
I long for the Derrick Rose of 2011. I'm not a Bulls fan. I long for the 2011 Derrick Rose. I am.
What's up, y'all? Hey, girl. Oh,
yeah. Fans in the background.
Fans background.
Yeah, we got fans today.
Heartbroken. Every time I hear Derrick Rose, I always think back to the 2011 season.
Yeah,
you mentioned a really good point, VJ, about the issue that I have. The Celtics would have to beg for Kyrie to score 30. Offensive black hole. And the problem I have is you cannot be a one and be an offensive black hole. It's double, especially 2001 76ers, where you had a guy who averaged 30, but the next guy only averaged 9. You can't really succeed like that offensively in the NBA. Not in 2017, 2018.
You have
can't
to have a
succeed
team where multiple people are able to give you scoring a night.
Right.
Like you cannot have nights where one person is in double digits and the next closest person to you has 6 points.
Right.
Like it's not feasibly possibly successful that way.
No.
And unfortunately, like Q was saying, I don't see Kyrie as being a focal point of anybody's offense for that exact reason. He's not able to be successful on his own when all the pressure's on him. Because like I was telling y'all before we started, like look at the Cavs and the way that they've played of late. Like they play where one or two of them is having a good night and the rest of them are having a shitty off night. And on the nights that LeBron is the one doing the scoring and he comes out on the bench, that man has literally time to drink 3 sips of Gatorade. Like I said, he get to wipe the towel across his face and then they like, okay, well, can you tie your shoe and get back in? Because now we down 45.
Yeah.
Came up 20 and 3 minutes later, they down 45. Yeah. I'm just saying. Like it's like the shit is insane. So it's just either the rest of the team is feeding off of his energy, which can't be it if he's playing well. So then what is the problem with the rest of you? Like, do you need like a battery put in your back or what is the problem? Like Kyrie should be able to be a sustainable scorer without having somebody else around him. If that's what the theory is, that you traded away the rest of your team for this man.
And on top of it, he has to be a distributor. He has to be. He's in the role that he has to be.
And nothing historically about his play shows that he is able to do that long term over the course of a season.
Right. Nope. And that's nothing. And that's my major number one issue about this trade, because you got a somewhat offensively selfish guy whose second option on offense actually might be Kelly Olynyk. And for those who probably don't know the name, look up a guy who wears a man bun, and that pretty much will tell you who Kelly Olynyk is.
The fact that you got to look him up already tells you there's a problem.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're placing their hopes on having him and Gordon Hayward, be the guys who's going to carry the team. I'm sorry.
I forgot they had
now
Gordon
the Celtics are going to be.
bad.
Yeah. But I'm sorry. The team is going to be Kyrie having to score 30, crossing their fingers, hoping Hayward is a reliable number 2 option, and then they got to have a whole ton of bench play. Trades normally you make them to make your team better. Funnier is the Cavs don't have GM. So I was thinking, okay, this is a great time to take advantage of the Cavs. I mean, they don't have someone who supposedly is in the position to make the right move. Danny Ainge, on the other hand, who supposedly is a good poker player in this. He's supposed to be a good GM. But he does a rookie GM move with the team that doesn't have a GM, and look at what the Cavs have. Or they have a great defensive player who actually can make LeBron more relaxed on defensive end. And they can wield a draft pick because they can, you know what? They can actually dangle this in front of the Knicks and say, hey, here's the number 1. We want Carmelo. We probably will give you Kevin Love with you too.
Nah, he coming.
What do you say? Look, I'll say this.
Melo or Kevin Love?
No. Melo going to they're trying to work on him going to Houston. Nah, we don't want Kevin Love stay where he at.
Here's the thing about Melo going to Houston. Melo is one of those people where he is collecting coins like this is Super Mario Brothers. Like he is not concerned shit else. Because if he was, he would have left a long time ago. He has no interest in playing anywhere where he feels like they could be successful. And I don't care what he tells y'all in front of a camera with a hot-ass mic in front of his face, because if he did, his ass would have been trying to go somewhere else besides New York long, long ago. That man don't give a fuck. He's getting paid, and he's fucking la-la, and he's happy. He don't give a fuck. Because if he did, he'd be doing some different ass shit. So if you feel like that man is finna go to Houston to have to share the ball with James Harden, then y'all don't know the same Melo the rest of us have been looking at since 2003. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man, we trying to get trying to get Syracuse Melo.
Wait, Lala took Melo back.
They didn't never get.
They ain't
They
never
didn't never get no
divorced.
divorce.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah, they still just
yeah.
can't.
She said that
They're
she got on Wendy
complicated.
Williams. Yeah, she got on Wendy and said that was on hold. They was just doing what was best for their family, which means that bitch felt like them power checks was gonna run out, and she better try to secure the golden goose.
Hey, why you playing? Because what else does Lala do? I don't know if them MTV checks still holding up.
Hi
I don't.
guys, it's your girl Lala. No,
Yeah, I
that
don't think she
bitch.
gets residuals from MTV appearances from what 2004, five, and six. No,
Yeah,
I
when
don't
we were
think
in
so.
high school, yeah, that don't rock.
But that's
I
your girl Lala. But
you're
that's your
right.
girl Lala.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. When I saw them things on Power, though, I was like, you know what?
Listen, y'all think it's a game, but when I get enough money to have plastic surgery, I'm taking a picture of that bitch from vacation and being like, "Can you do this to me?
Oh man, hey, them things was
Do that."
immaculate. I was like,
Oh
Because
Lord.
let's be real here. Lala was a cute girl, but she was built kind of funny.
yeah, that's true.
It wasn't all put to, I mean, it wasn't badly put, it wasn't bad, it was a horrible put together thing I've ever seen, but it wasn't just A1 either. You know what I mean? Like, and it is what it is. Like, it's not a bad thing. Everybody should love their body the way it is. But she didn't have like IG supermodel. Now she elevated, man. Whoever her plastic surgeon is, I probably can't even
Hey,
afford that man, but you know, a girl can dream.
she need to still be paying him. Uh,
Listen, he ought to be getting that nigga ought to be getting residuals. Forget her getting residuals from MTV.
Oh
He need to
my
be getting
God.
residuals because
every
that ass is immaculate. He got rid
yes.
of tattoos she had on her feet, her ass look amazing, titties sitting up in her neck and shit. Listen,
Mm,
Wow.
mm,
Wow. Cleaning up her act. Wow. Okay, I
yeah.
didn't know it was like
I
that.
don't even like girls, but I'll be gay for Lala.
You sound like my old lady now.
Lord.
Rihanna, Beyonce,
Yeah,
Lala,
Rihanna looking nice, man. Especially
out
I
here
remember
looking
some.
like dinner,
Plus sized Rihanna. Ugh.
It's
Come
not
looking
on.
like
plus
dinner.
though. I'm like,
She's not even
oh,
plus
Come
size.
on,
Like she an
really?
8. That girl like a size 8.
Right.
Y'all
yeah. I'm
talking about
about
she
to
plus
say
size.
she's an 8'10" now. That's plus size. Okay. I hate to see what a 24
Right. So
is.
two picks of plus size now.
Yeah.
Really?
What
Okay.
is a 24 then? Never mind.
What is it?
A size 24. What would that be considered then? Is that no longer plus size?
No, a 24 is plus size, but there's kind of been a shift to where plus size now is like anything over like a 12.
Okay. Yeah. That's whack.
And
I ain't
and,
gonna
and
lie.
No, I was
Rihanna's
like, because
nowhere.
like I said, because like
Rihanna's
I said,
nowhere.
like,
And Rihanna's nowhere near a 12.
Nowhere.
I'd estimate maybe an 8, and that I
Yeah.
mean, and that's me. You know, that may be me over guessing because I think before she might have been maybe like a 4, so I'm giving her a 4 size jump
Yeah.
Hmm.
to an 8, but I don't even. The only reason I know that like a 14 is kind of considered plus size is because right now I'm like on the cusp. I lost 45 pounds, and now
Woo.
and now I'm just kind of like at the cusp of like a 12 and a 13, which means I still kind of have to shop for like plus size clothing, but then they're still kind of too big. Like they're a little big.
I ain't gonna lie. So this is me being an asshole. I was in the mall with my wife, and we passed by. They had some shorts on display, and they were like a size 26, 28. And I pulled up. I said, "Man, never mind. I ain't gonna go
Don't
there.
do this.
That's not,
Don't
I'm
do
not.
this.
I'm not doing it."
No, I don't want you to
I
doghouse
want
that.
better for you, and I can't defend your mentions when you say some wild ass shit about something. Look, everybody is beautiful, and if you are 26, we are not. We here at Chopping It Up with Q are not body shaming you. We are body positive. You want everybody to be beautiful and whatever skin they are. And if you wear 26, that is cool. If you want to wear
That,
46, that's
that's
cool with
cool
us
too.
too.
Do they
Don't
make?
let Q and shut up. Or you say something real fucking stupid and get both of us bounced off the face of the fucking earth. Hush. Don't do this.
All right. All right. I won't.
All of y'all is fine, and we're not doing all this today. So y'all ignore Q's ass because clearly he's been over there giving his headphones are too fucking tight. So y'all ignore this nigga because I don't know what he was about to say, but we don't want the smoke that he about to try to bring.
You're right. I stopped myself. I didn't do it this time. But Cole, man.
The
So
views,
if you want to go ahead and take some of that heat away, where can folks find your podcast and all that stuff? And when do you drop?
the views expressed by Q do not necessarily reflect those of Chopping Up with Q.
There you
Nor
go.
do they
And anybody else. And anybody but him.
All right. Well, you can find my show Revelations at shows.pippa, that's pippa.io/revelations. That airs every Tuesday, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. in Texas. And Cold Sports, you can find me at coldsportswithaz.com. That's coldsportswithaz.com. I drop once every week, and I will be actually going on another platform. I will announce that soon. I can't really announce it now because it's not finalized just yet. But you'll be able to find me in another place.
Okay.
Relations and find me at Cold Sports.
And man, say he about to be on the radio and TV. Y'all watch out, man. CBS Sports.
He gonna be on Vice. Hey.
Oh, VJ, your social handles and all for the people who want to try to go and jump in them mentions.
I'm gonna start telling y'all what I tell my coworkers. I ain't got no Twitter, but I don't have social media. But yeah, you can. So yeah, you guys can catch me on the Twitters. It is VJ_Burton, BURTON. Would you rather questions tomorrow, since we are dropping the episode late? I figure I try to do it when we drop the episode, so we'll try to get busy with that. You're welcome to join us. I normally try to do those in the morning around 9ish because I like to catch you before you've had your coffee. You were there, you guys. So interesting. Ted Cruz is coming to visit the plant that I work for. So he's coming to visit on the 30th. And we apparently are having a small town hall question and answer joint with the man. So if you guys want to tweet me your questions, I'll be happy to ask him. So far, I've had people ask me to ask him if he can twerk. And then I had somebody ask me to ask him. And I've had several people ask about the vampire thing. So my assumption is that I didn't know that Ted Cruz is maybe a vampire, but that's like a thing that everyone else knew. So my bad. I was ignorant. About knowing that the man was a vampire. So sorry, guys. I'll do better, I promise.
As soon as you opened that up, you was going to get some all kind. You opened the floodgates. Like, yeah, what do you want me to ask him?
do not give me some. Please do not give me.
They said I could ask whatever I wanted to ask him. So I want to know what y'all want me to ask this man. Because after he let Trump disrespect him and his wife and his family like that, I feel like I ought to be able to ask him whatever I want to ask him. What are you going to do? So obviously nothing. So ask away. It's cool. On Snapchat, you can catch me. It is MiqueB, MiQueb. Don't snap me your penis. Thanks, guys. Really, I appreciate that. Just in advance, a lot of you like to send unsolicited dick pics. Please don't. I just don't want those. Thank you. Leave your ashy dick in your pants. Stop you right now. Put your dick away. Thanks. And then one more. And on IG, I changed it. It is BJ_Burton on IG as well. I told you I would do it. I finally did. Yay me.
Yeah, so she consolidated. And fellas, whenever I develop my snatch away beards, then maybe those unsolicited D pics will actually be more acceptable now. So yeah, we're working on that.
Are they gonna put the beard over their dick so I can't see it in the picture?
No, we're not doing that now. So we're gonna get them like some little. I'm telling you, I'm trying to help folks win out here, man. I'll tell you, so it's gonna be a kit that we're gonna create. So it's gonna be a detachable beard, a nice V-neck that's kind of tight, and we're gonna give you some gray sweatpants, and it's gonna be a little pump up front to help, But never mind, we'll go on that a little bit more. But
this sounds so terrible. And why are you helping these dudes be Decepticons? Like, why?
I'm trying to level the playing field.
That is a bad idea. Waiting to be unleashed.
Conversation for another time. But yeah, man, if you want to go ahead and catch me, I am _Q_the_great on Instagram as well as on Twitter. You can also catch me on Facebook at Quentin Simpson. Also, make sure to follow Talking 30 Radio Show at Talking 3030. That will be on Instagram as well as on Twitter. Also, make sure to check out the website, talking30.live. And make sure to check out all the shows on Spreaker.com /The Critical Dump. Or also just look up TCD Media Network. You can find all the shows there. And also remember, Talking 30 is live Mondays from 8 to 10 Central Standard Time. And yes, we have a phone number. Call in 214-717-4827. Other than that, I believe I have all. Oh, make sure to follow the Pod Pound. Make sure to follow all. There's a bunch of podcasts. I'm sorry. I'm going to write them down next time. Actually, I'm going to just make an audio roll to where it just plays and everybody know who I rock with. But other than that, y'all know who you are. Appreciate it. Cole, man, I appreciate you coming on. I know when I get you.
Thank you.
It was short notice
Thank you,
last
guys.
time.
It was a pleasure to be amongst the both of you.
Oh man, I almost feel like I'm special, man. You talking about you about to move
I
over to like
know.
ESPN and stuff? You talking about it's a pleasure to be with us? That's what's up, man. We feel that.
I know. Remember the little people, Cole. We appreciate it.
Oh man, other than that, man, look, we appreciate you if you're checking us out. You know, like my man Geronimo from Talking 30 said, you could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, chopping it up.
Shouts out to Penrose as well because he likes to say that as well.
Oh, hey, all right, well, hey, all right, cool, man. My man Penrose from Penrose versus anybody. And then other than that, man, I think that's about it for us. We appreciate it.
Oh, and happy birthday again, Mom.
Oh yeah,
Love your old ass.
Turn up. Now, just don't go out there making too many mistakes, and don't hurt too many folks out there. You know you like to get down. Nah, I'm messing with you.
Well,
Stop.
She can't come back pregnant, so I'm fine.
That is true. So hey, snatch those if you want to. But anyways, man, we up out of here.
Sporadic detail, the whip tell them to clean the fabric. I'm going back to Cali, she too ghetto for that 5-star, took that hoe to rallies. I got that bitch the number 2, mean coat killer, tell them pussy ass niggas that they summer through.